This episode of Soldier Knows Best is brought to you by Jack Threads. Hey, what's up guys, Soldier Knows Best here. Here's my review of the brand new Sony PS Vita. This little bad boy right here is supposed to give you an awesome gaming experience while on the go. So I'm going to talk about the hardware, I'm going to talk about the software, talk about the games and everything else in between. Just going to jump right into it with the hardware. Now the Vita is a very sexy, well-designed device. I like everything with it as far as the looks. It's not that heavy at all, but it is right there on the verge of being uncomfortable if you want to carry this thing around in your pockets. It's a little bit too long for that. But overall, I think it feels very solid. I think it will be able to survive a couple drops or two if you do happen to drop that. I'm not going to test that in this video. On the front of the Vita, you will find the D-pad and also just the regular standard action buttons that you come in love with PlayStation controllers. And also the Vita does have dual analog sticks. It's going to be really great for first-person shooters. However, I do wish the analog sticks were just a little bit bigger for my taste. And to the sides of the analog sticks, you will also find the speaker grills, but the speakers aren't the loudest. They'll be loud enough to get the job done, but if you do have a lot of background noise, the speakers may have problems keeping the audio up to your liking as well. Now the Vita sports a 5-inch OLED touchscreen on the front, which looks very nice, has awesome viewing angles, and with the resolution of 960 by 544, it's really going to make your games and other media look really good. Now moving to the top of the Vita, you'll find the shoulder buttons, which are really good. And also you'll find the power button, the volume buttons, and also the little slot to put in your game cards. On the bottom, you'll find the headphone jack and the charging port. And also the Vita does sport two cameras, one in the front, one in the back. Now both of these cameras are VGA, so no HD here, so you're not going to be recording your home movies with this thing. But it will provide for very cool gaming opportunities for augmented reality, where basically it'll overlay a game to whatever your camera sees. So if you're in the room, you'll have people fighting on the floor or fighting and doing other things inside the room, or explosions going on to make you feel like all that stuff is happening right there next to you. So that's primarily why these cameras are in there, so I can't expect too much for the quality of the cameras. It does have one trick up its sleeve. On the back, you'll find a touchpad panel, which is going to be cool for games like Little Deviants, where you can manipulate the world using your fingers on the back and control your characters in other games. Now, it is kind of unnatural and uncomfortable at first once you start using it, because this is the first time probably you ever use a device with it. But over time, you will start to get the hang of it, and it can be very useful because it frees up the screen on the front, so your fingers aren't blocking it, and then just provides another dynamic to certain games. But again, this is kind of wait and see how developers actually use this in games and take advantage of it fully. Inside, you'll find the ARM Cortex-A9 quad-core processor. It has built-in microphone and GPS. Also does have the 6-axis motion sensor, and you can also get either the Wi-Fi or the 3G version of the PlayStation Vita, and that 3G also does Wi-Fi as well. But here in the United States, the 3G is going to be going through AT&T, and this is the 3G version that I'm reviewing for this video. So overall, I would say the hardware for the Vita is pretty doggone good. I like the control layout. The touchpad on the back is a nice addition. But one thing the Vita is missing, though, it doesn't have any built-in internal storage, so you have to buy separate the Sony specific memory cards for the Vita, which can get pretty pricey. I mean, 32 gigabytes will run you about $100, so that's a lot of money for those. But other than that, I would say the Vita has some pretty nice hardware. All right, now it's going to talk about the OS on the PlayStation Vita. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this bubble type of layout, and I'm still not totally used to it yet, but it does get the job done. And all these little things represent an application or a setting or a game that you do have on here. And you can rearrange these to your liking if you tap and hold on them. Now you can move them around. Also, too, from this same screen, you can change the background color of the screen to a picture that you're taking with the cameras, or to one of these other predetermined images there. Now, if you slide up and down, you'll be able to access the different pages of your little bubbles there. And also, too, if you slide to the right, you'll be able to see all the open applications that you do have running. Now, if you simply want to close one of these out, you simply tap from the top right-hand corner, and it will close that out off the screen. And also, too, if you do hit the PlayStation Home button, it will bring up all the other open applications that you do have, and has a quick little access point to get back to the home screen. Now, looking at the top middle of the screen, you can also be able to see all the open applications or different games that you do have open. They each have this little icon there, which is pretty convenient. Now, in the top right-hand corner, you'll find this little bubble here, and that's going to be your notification hub, where all your notifications will show up there. So it'll let you know if people are playing nearby to you, or if you have friend requests and different things like that. Now, within the OS itself, you'll find different things like a party application that allow you to talk to your friends using the microphone, and also then challenge them to a game if you wanted to. And also, they do have an application called Near, where it'll help you find different people who have PlayStation Vitas near to you, and now you can interact with them and see their games and different things like that. And also, too, the remote play for it is pretty nice, which will allow you to play people, like somebody has the Wipeout game on the PlayStation 3, and you have the Wipeout game on your PlayStation Vita. Now you can challenge them head-to-head in multiplayer as well, so that cross platform gaming is present here with the PlayStation Vita 2. Now the Vita does also have the PlayStation Store where you can download and you can rent movies or TV shows, and you can get music, and also too you can get games from the older PSP game systems. You can download those games into your Vita, and also too you can download the new games for the Vita that is going to be cheaper since it is a digital version onto your Vita if you wanted to. Of course, you're going to have a memory card. But then all this content that you do download, or if you want to get content onto your Vita, you can use the Content Media Manager. So that's its own application on the Vita itself, and plus it's something you can download whether it's for the PC or the Mac. You can download the Content Media Manager. Now you can take off and put on photos and music and videos and game saves and all that stuff as well. And now let's move on to the most important piece of this review, and yes, that is the games. How do the games stack up on the PlayStation Vita? I will say for a launch day lineup, they had an awesome lineup of games ranging from racing games to sports games to action games. They had different games like Little Deviants, which really took advantage of the touchpad on the back, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 as far as fighting. They had racing with Wipeout 2048, and then you had Uncharted Golden Abyss, which is probably the must-have game for the Vita because it gives you a very similar experience to the same game that's on the PlayStation 3 as far as the overall gameplay. Now, Sony hinted that the PlayStation Vita will get you close to console-like graphics when they first announced the Vita about a year or two ago. So my expectations were very, very high as far as the graphics quality. Now I will say that I'm not disappointed, but it's definitely not on the same level as the PlayStation 3. Now Uncharted looked really awesome. I love the animations. They look very similar to what you'll find on the console. I will say the lighting effects are really awesome in that game. Then you move to a game like Wipeout 2048, which is only moving at 30 frames per second, but it really gives you a good sense of speed and just the overall level detail in that game as you're whipping around the track. It's really amazing. And then the OLED screen on this PS Vita does a really good job and does a lot of these games justice. So I would say that the graphics quality of these games are pretty solid. And again, the launch lineup was awesome, but the rest of 2012 is going to be pretty good. They have games like Killzone lined up, Call of Duty, Little Big Planet, Madden, of course, and also Ninja Gaiden is going to be coming out to it, or Ninja Gaiden, however you're supposed to say it. It's going to be coming out for the PlayStation Vita this year. However, I do have a couple of issues with the Vita. One, no built-in storage. It's not a good thing. They're forcing you to buy these memory cards. I think they could have provided at least 2 gigabytes of built-in storage for game saves and things like that. So if you are planning on downloading movies and downloading games to these little memory cards for the Vita, it will get pretty pricey for you. Now, also to the analog sticks, I think they can be just a little bit bigger, but that's not a big, huge complaint. And then other than that, I would say just the loading times for some of the games. But after all that is said and done, the PlayStation Vita is a really solid gaming device, and I think it is the best portable gaming device out there for you right now. And they can continue this momentum of these games that are coming out for 2012 and beyond, and really keep these developers on here. I think the Vita is going to be something that's going to be a really good investment for people who want the best portable gaming experience while you're on the go, on the plane, or in your car, different things like that. So again, they have 3G and Wi-Fi versions. If you just want the base Wi-Fi only version, that starts at $250. And again, I think it's a really good price for this device, and I think you won't be disappointed with it. So that's my total review. But before we head out of here, guys, we're going to take one let's look at our sponsor for this video. And today's sponsor is Jack Threads. Jack Threads is a nice place to get really cool clothes for a low price. And I'm talking about brands like Kid Robot, Hurley, and Stussy, where you can get watches, you can get t-shirts, get jeans, shoes, a whole bunch of stuff for a very, very low price, up to 80% off on some of the stuff, which is not a bad deal at all. But this is an invite-only club. But if you want to get in right now, you can go to jackthreads.com/SKB and start shopping and getting some good clothes. All right, thanks for watching this video, guys. Please leave a comment down below about what you think about the PlayStation Vita. How does it stack up to the DS and the 3DS and all that stuff? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later. Peace.